Welcome back to They Did What? Your source for the internet's craziest, most entertaining stories, where I go over them, analyze them, and most certainly make fun of them. Today, I'm going to do a story titled, Second Round of Infidelity, This Time Worse. And a shout out to Ben for sending in this story. And guys, this story is about a guy, he's relatively young, mid-20s or so, and he is now officially kicking to the curb his girlfriend after finding out that she's cheating on him for, wait for it, the second time. First time around was a emotional affair. Whether that's true or not, I don't know, but he seems to think that was the case. But as you can see, once a cheater, always a cheater, and she's back to her old tricks. He forgave her the first time because she came off as generally sorry and all that, and he obviously invested a lot of time with her, didn't know any better, and not to mention her harpy friends were browbeating him, so he gave her a second chance, and guess what happened? But this time, our guy's wised up, and he's now not only dumping her, but exposing her to everyone to make sure they know who she really is. And it really hits home, guys. God forbid your girl, your wife cheats on you, end it. Walk away, because they're not going to change. Maybe if she was like your junior high girlfriend and she's 14 and kissed another dude, maybe she might change a little bit in time. That's the only pass I might give on occasion if somebody's a child, really young, 13 or 14, junior high, high school. But beyond that, when they're a full-blown adult doing that, they're going to do it again. Guaranteed. So you'll definitely see what I'm talking about in this type of story. It's more educational to keep you on track and things and entertainment here. But before I get into it real quick, guys, if you haven't done it already, come by and check out our men's community over on Patreon or Locals. You can come on by and join for free as a member and just see what it's all about. Or to get the good stuff, you can become a paying supporter. Paying supporters will get videos from all three of my channels commercial free, 48 hours before they hit YouTube, as well as a bunch of other exclusive videos during the month that I can't do on here for obvious reasons. And also it's censorship free. I'm really trying to build it up over there because given how strict they are over here, it's only a matter of time before problems arise. I'm really trying to build it over there. But don't worry, I'm still doing plenty of stuff over here. But come check it out. I'll post a link in the top of the comment section and description. And all you guys have come on by and signed up as members or are supporters, welcome. Glad you're there. Hope you're enjoying it. Okay. So, it starts off, says here, I just caught my ex-girlfriend cheating on me again. This time for real. The first time was an emotional affair and sending spicy texts that lasted 3 to 4 months with a former coworker that had very recently left her workplace. This time, years later, she went on 2 dates and then slept with another coworker during a work trip. Here's our story. Good God Almighty, this poor guy. Well, notice he said ex-girlfriend now. I started dating my now ex in late 2019. We were both 21 years old. We were together throughout this story, but I am now referring to her as my ex. Things were great until late 2022, when we started bickering about priorities and nightlife. We mostly hung out and partied with a group of 5 to 10 of my bros. Almost everyone had a girlfriend of their own. Between 2019 and 2023, the girlfriends became even more tight-knit than the original group of guys and young men. Most of the guys grew up together since early childhood. Okay, so all the bros, all his buddies, the guys, were hanging out, and then their girlfriends got to know each other, and they became a harpy group. Some of the girlfriends, mine included, developed a toxic clique. Oh, imagine that. They'd rag on their partners and only ever share negative aspects of their relationships. They would later call this the group therapy. A minor fight between a couple may have started and then resolved within a day or two, but the other girlfriends only ever got reports of the worst of each argument. You mean they enjoyed the drama? Drama? Surprise, surprise. They would also send real-time screenshots of very private conversations and collaborate on responses they never forgave nor forgot. So these guys are morons if their girlfriends are behaving in this manner and exposing their private life and secrets and all that. They should have just done one big group dumping of all these girls and started over. In January 2023, my ex and I had our first fight. I was frustrated that oftentimes, before we went out to a party, we'd agree on a general time that we should head home, say between 11:30 p.m. and 1 a.m. If we stayed out past 1:30 a.m., Ubers would surge in price and we'd pay exorbitant fees, or be forced to wait the surge period out until dawn. I nagged my ex to be more consistent. Smack! Dude, women nag. Men just say what's going to be done and that's that. Don't nag, guys. and to respect the plan that we'd set in place before going out. Well, somehow this really put me in the bad books with the girl gang. Who cares? Let them not like you. Or I got a better idea. If your girlfriend's being a pain in the butt about this, you'll leave. If you're planning to go out to leave at 1 o'clock in the morning and she's screwing around, making Uber super expensive, whatever, you go home. Leave her there. She may be bitchy about it. She may do something really stupid, but then you see who she is and you end it with her. But don't just hang around and let her run the show. That's disrespectful, and it shows her you're weak. And who cares about her friends? X started confiding in her ex-coworker who moved across the country, and it got flirty. The girl gang encouraged her. See? You pay attention to your girl hangs out with. And blah, 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 blah. The ex-coworkers came back to our city to visit family. Me, my ex, the coworker, and his fiance went out to dinner together. So obviously they went out to dinner without him knowing that they were talking behind his back. This was obviously before he found that out. A few weeks later, they were sending graphic texts over the course of several months. Some of the girl gang were privy to this and cheered her on, while they continued to blame me for all their issues and collaborate to manipulate me. Oh man, these young boys that don't know what they're doing with these harpies. This is why I do this, guys. My ex hid all this, but still set up two to three more occasions where she had the affair partner herself and myself meeting up for drinks and events when he came back into town, and I had no idea. She got off on that. She's secretly having a spicy relationship with that guy, and then he comes to visit, and they're all hanging out, and he's having beers with him. She's cucking him behind his back. He just doesn't know this, and she enjoys it. She's a piece of garbage. I know they never got physical because I was there every time he was back in town, chaperoning him while he was a stranger in my circle of friends, buying him beers, asking about his new job and his engagement. I was curious why he Irish exited, snuck out the back door of the pub most nights. Well, he was exiting out the back door because he wanted to get in your girlfriend's back door, dude. Now I know it's because he realized he wasn't getting laid. Dude, don't be so sure that he wasn't getting laid or your girlfriend. There was never an opportunity. They are so slick about that. I don't believe for a second it was just an emotional affair. I'm sorry it happened to you, but come on here. Over a year later, in 2024, I spied on a text from one of the girl gang reminiscing about the ex's fling with the coworker. I did some digging and turned up with the text records. I confronted my ex and shared the news with the coworker's fiance. He was bragging about all the three-ways and hookups he's been having in the new city behind her back, still engaged today, by the way. So he was a sleazeball. And of course, his girlfriend loved him. Her girl gang stood by my ex and totally victim blamed me. Of course these harpies are going to blame him. Separate from these people, dude. Their boyfriends, my friends, really my only friends in my time in my life, spinelessly looked the other way or sidelined with their girlfriends. Well, smacked all those so-called guy friends. They're not his friends. Max begged for reconciliation and forgiveness. She apologized, took responsibility, and promised to make amends and change her behavior. Who cares? She can promise all she wants. It's bad enough she was cheating on him by having that guy come there and he's buying him beers and hanging out with them. Meanwhile, all this is going on behind his back. That is just takes low to a new level. She was enjoying the whole drama of it. No way can you forgive that. Even if she didn't get physical with that guy. Those actions unforgivable. Well, my friend group fractured, imploded, exploded, and dissolved. There was nothing for me there anymore. So one of my first conditions of reconciliation was she completely cut off a couple of those girls in particular and send them a message telling them that their friendship was over. Well, that's nice and all, but you shouldn't be getting back with her. But I'm glad he's distancing himself from those scumbag guys he thought were his friends. The girl gang's messages got leaked, and the other guys saw that they were also, at the very least, being bullied behind their backs by their own girlfriends and the girlfriend's closest friends. Some really nasty one-sided stuff. Some were also cheating or aspiring to cheat. Nobody stood by me. My best friends blamed me. What a bunch of freaking scumbags. These manginas. You know what? Every once in a while, guys, a situation can show you who your friends really are. And sometimes you realize that none of your friends are your friends. But at least you know and you can get distance from them. This guy's having a bad freaking week. First, he finds out his girlfriend's doing what she's doing, and then his so-called bros aren't his bros. It's pretty tough. Well, I took my ex up on her offer of reconciliation. Smack! Dude, you nuts? Jackass. I really don't have anything to lose. Yeah, you do. A lot of things. I lost all my friends, and she was the only one that was actually trying to fix and maintain our relationship. Brother, that's what they all do. She invested time with you. You were going to be her guy that she could be in a relationship with while she had fun on the side. She wants to keep that, not because she loves you. This is what they do. But because he's lonely, has nobody else, and he just, okay, she's sorry. Her actions had already destroyed my entire social circle, and she was the only person willing to try and make amends with me. We did over a year of individual and couples therapy. So in his mind, well, she's doing all that, so she must really be sorry and care. Until she does this again, and they will do it again. While reconciliation was tough, I was grappling with isolation. If we spent time with other people, it was almost always her friends. These friends are all great people that after almost 7 years of knowing them. Okay, so this is not the same witches and bitches group that were with his old buddies, so-called buddies. I'll miss dearly, but I knew no matter what, how the relationship ended, they would remain her friends. I continued to play my half of everyone's favorite couple in a few of these circles. Mom and Dad was the joke because I'd always show up at the function with triple of the supplies in case anybody forgot something. I was dying inside because I knew if we broke up or I exposed my pain, I'd be the one who'd have to awkwardly exit left stage. Dude, you're investing too much into your girlfriend, and your friends are her friends. How do you think it's going to happen when she clearly is going to do what she did before again? You got to make your own friends. He should have just completely wiped the slate clean, got rid of all those people, been alone for a while, started over. I get he's young and inexperienced. Many of us have been there, but still. Better to be alone than with people that will stab you in the back. But a lot of people in this world can't be alone. They need people in their lives. You truly can't become the man you need to be, guys, in this world without handling being okay alone. But a lot of guys can't do that. Women especially can't do that. A very select few knew the story, or pieces of it. Initially, they were very fair to me and prodded her to divulge more details that she was hiding from them to cast herself in a better light. More recently, they got sick of us struggling and decided enough was enough, and the only answer left was, Earl's gotta die, na-na-na-na. I kept the cheating a secret from all my family and relatives, except for my sister and a cousin who lives hundreds of kilometers away. Smack! He kept it a secret because he knew they would tell him what he didn't want to do. They would tell him to end it with her. And they would be right. In August 2024 to February 2026, she was really putting in a ton of effort to fix things. I was doubtful and didn't really regain trust in her or in myself. I still put up appearances and tried to show that I was trying. Sometimes I believed that I was mostly just going along with things because I had nothing better to do or nobody else to turn to. Smack! We're all masters of our own destiny. You make your own luck. You should have gotten off your ass and gone out and tried to make new friends, and joining a boxing club or a martial arts school or anything that's socialized to meet people and make your own friends. Come on, bro. Instead of having to deal with that. And notice, guys, he can't get over this. This is the point. Guys will give their cheating girlfriends or wives a second chance. They never forget. They're never the same. Their relationship's never the same. This is why you don't hang on. But he doesn't know this. I believe I was mostly just going along, blah, 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 blah. Other times I was truthfully happy again. But there were still pieces lacking that I needed her to bridge. I died not to make her read my mind. I tried to tell her what she could do to bring me there. In March 2026, we hit a rough patch. Oh, imagine that. I was really struggling with isolation besides her. I worried that the longer I continued, the deeper hole I would dig myself. And I withdrew. Ghosted. We were both brought to the cusp of ending our relationship. I got cold feet first and explained that I wanted to earnestly try and accept her efforts. So this has been going on for years. He can't get over it. Of course he can't get over it because what she did was a horrible betrayal. Maybe she was doing everything she could and I needed to meet her somewhere. We negotiated and talked about what ifs and hows. We don't see eye to eye. I put breaking up back on the table, but she didn't want that option anymore. Dude, shit or get off the pot. We had an amazing April, May, and most of June. Even while she was away, I acted like the model guy, even when I may not have been 100%. Felt right. I wanted to reciprocate her positivity and make progress in repairing our relationship, and my relationship with some of her friends that I knew our struggles. From June 1st to June 30th, currently, well, are you from the future? This isn't June 30th yet, dude. She got the opportunity to go on an extended work trip. Oh, my bad. For a month, she's going on a work trip. June 1 to June 30. Okay. Even though this video probably won't publish in for a couple more days. Thousands of employees from her organization are there right now. There's a stereotype that these type of trips are rife with infidelity. A whole month away, you can imagine, a month-long work conference? That's nuts. This trip was an opportunity for a boatload of overtime pay, and it's great for networking and career growth. Yeah, and cheating. I had anxiety about it, but decided not to voice those thoughts and instead support her 100%. The whole month, she's been showering me with the "I miss you so much" texts and phone calls. I was in and out of her apartment cleaning, patching drywall, unpacking and organizing, planning some custom-built shelving for her laundry closet, and having a custom-made Father's Day gift made for her dad. She was planning on taking vacation on the final 2 workdays of her trip, so I could fly out and take her to meet some cousins of mine who live nearby. Well, on Monday, she got weird. Here we go. We had some tense conversations as she was getting wishy-washy about taking the time off. I said, listen, it's a 5 to 7 hour flight and a 3-hour drive to my cousins each way. If you can't take those days off, it's not worthwhile for me to come out for only 2 days. She says, you're right, I'll take them off. She went out that night to the entertainment district. She hardly responded to my text between Tuesday and Thursday. Tuesday night, the Apple TV wasn't working, old password didn't work, and I got suspicious. So suddenly, after a whole month of all the I love you texts and I love you phone calls, suddenly she's going radio silent. Something's up. Thursday, I kept tabs on her phone and location. The city where she's traveling is 3 hours behind our hometown. 9 p.m. her time, she went to the bar district. It was restless, and I slept in 1-hour bursts, checking her location every time I woke up. God's sakes, this is no way to live, man. He doesn't know any better. From 11 p.m. to 1 a.m. her time, she walked around the marina and loitered near some docks for hours. I went to sleep at 6:30 a.m. my time, 3:30 her time. I woke up for work. I saw her at a hotel on the wrong side of the city. As I got dressed, I brushed my teeth and made my coffee. I watched her little location tracer start to move. It got in an Uber and cab back to her actual hotel between 4 a.m. and 4:30 a.m. I'd usually get up for work an hour later than I had, and she'd have thought that she was in the clear. Oh, technology, he's able to track her and see where she's going. She's out all night, wrong side of town, in a different hotel. What do you think's going on? I called her the moment she arrived at her hotel 2 or 3 times. I would have called her while she was en route, but I gave her the benefit of the doubt that she was in the car full of her female coworkers that she'd been telling me about and shared pictures of. No answer. I asked her why I had seen what I just saw, and silence for the last 12 hours. I tried calling once more after work, and then texted her to ask if she was asleep, alive, or working today. I also asked if she should leave her keys somewhere she could collect them when she got back. She finally replied another hour or so after and admitted to spending time with somebody and crossing a line she never should have crossed. You can leave my keys with whichever friend if that's what you want. Once a cheater, always a cheater. See, she screwed the whole thing up. And I will to bet you probably she justified saying that she's been trying for 2 years and he just won't get over it. And she had to cheat. With the first incident in 2023, it took me almost 2 years to drag details out of her and get her to talk about the why. This time, she wouldn't pick up or respond at all. Her friend called. She's a really good person, and they bonded because they discovered that they were dating the same guy at the same time way back. That friend passed a message to my ex that she owed me a phone call immediately. We spoke on the phone for about 17 minutes. This time, she seemed more honest, remorseful, but immediately defeated and understanding that things are not recoverable from here. She's not remorseful. Bull crap. I gotta think she just sabotaged the whole thing. I asked, are you finally ready to admit the incident in 2023, and now this one, was driven in large by thrill and excitement. Much of that excitement being that it's wrong and disrespectful to me. She had worked from 5 a.m. to 5 p.m., went on the second date from 8 p.m. to 4:30, and worked from 5 a.m. to 5 the next day. When we spoke, she still had an hour or 2 left on her shift. What the hell does this broad do? When I asked her the above question, she was basically like, maybe, I don't know, probably. This time she sounds like me, resigned and empty. She knows this is much worse than the last time and has basically given up. I think maybe she wanted to end the relationship and is almost grateful that I caught her. She's a big giant cheater, but I also think in some way she may have sabotaged this whole thing. I don't know. Who knows? These people are narcissists. You got to be a narcissist to understand them completely. But, bro, once a cheater, always a cheater. That's why I said dumped her the first time. Except I have doubts that she will ever have told me if I didn't catch her. This new affair partner lives in a completely different area of the country, over 30 hours drive away. It wasn't going to continue past this one time, maybe another time or two over the next week. I'd be willing to bet that she was doing it for the fun of it and was going to have me pick her up from the airport in a week or so, maybe never say a word about it, maybe even follow through with the plans for me to come visit her there. I found the affair partner's number thanks to iCloud Sync and told him who he's dealing with. He seemed surprised and unimpressed with her. I hope he steers clear and gives her a dirty look, and getting caught ruins the rest of her work trip and vacation. I can't verify or force them to, but it's enough for me to know that he knows and she knows that he knows. Anyway, this is very fresh for me. Last time I protected her reputation and image. This time I've told both the families and any mutual friends whose opinions I care about. I won't allow her to hide her actions and go on lying and convincing people that this was all me who did wrong and ruined the relationship. Well, thank God he learned there, and obviously he's done with her. I'm going to read a little bit more here in the comment section. Yes, you know it's done when he's telling the family and friends. Control the narrative. You saw what happened when she controlled the narrative last time and tried to make it all his fault. But she's still going to try to make it his fault. She's going to say all these 2 years, he's been just depressed, and he wouldn't forgive me, get over it. She'll blame him. In the comment section, in response to what people said, one of the things was he says, "Thank you. Your comment is simple, but I need that exasperated brother. I broke down a bit here. I finally told my parents about everything. They were very sad and shocked, but relieved that this explains why I've been such a rut for the past 3 years. I told several more family members of my family, and apologized for being too distant and short with them over this period. I also told a handful of her friends that I didn't know, and I told her mother. I won't tell her work. We both work in a related employer, and that's crossing a line that just is likely to harm my own career." How would that harm his career? I don't get that, but that's his life. I also disconnected myself from her and most of her family and friends on everything virtual, social media, shared Google Drive, etc. I deleted all my messages with her, her family, and most of her friends, and deleted their contacts so I couldn't text them for any reason again. I'm exactly where I was afraid to be if I walked away in 2023 or 2024. No friends and cheated on. The only plus side is I won't need to wonder if I made a mistake walking away now that I've experienced this once again. See, he's right back where he would have been years ago. At least years ago, he would have recovered. Okay, he may be alone because obviously the mutual friends are going to choose her, no doubt. Except maybe that friend that called him and told him about her or whatever. But still, this is a clean slate to start over. He's got to work on himself, and make his own friends, for God's sake. Maybe he's an introvert and he has a hard time making friends. But, in my opinion, he's dodging a big one. He could have been married to her. He could have had a kid with her, bought a house with her. It's time to scorch earth. And no one coming back from that. I'm glad he's telling everybody here. And he's going through a hard time. All I can say is take it one day at a time. But get out there. Join a gym. Exercise. Focus on your job, your grind, your purpose. Get to know people. Go out and talk to people. Join social things to get to know people. Put yourself out there and try. And don't fall for her begging and pleading because she's going to be back. He forgave her the first time around. I guarantee she's thinking he'll do it again. And one more comment. This guy said, he also said, first affair partner is engaged to a long-term girlfriend I share my discovery with. They moved across the country. The second affair partner, I found his name and number within the afternoon due to iCloud Sync on her MacBook. She wasn't quick enough to change the password earlier in the week before a few texts synced. Opened Chrome and saw her Googling how to make Facebook private and so it can't be searched, and the guy's name. I texted him shortly after. She admitted to me. They both work at the same location still. Seems he's a decent guy that she lied to. I can't verify or force it, but I think he's giving her the cold shoulder for the rest of the trip. First time she was immensely remorseful. We did couples therapy, individual therapy, and we kept a secret from all but a handful of friends in case things worked out. This time I think she looked back at how hard the road to recovery was and just gave up when I confronted her. I have no interest in staying with her. She's got no interest in continuing to be the bad guy here. What's terrifying is that she tried to hide it again. Throughout this minimum 1 week affair, she was booking PTO and we were looking at flights for me to come visit the coming weekend. Yeah, he'd go out there and she probably would meet this guy and she'd basically be cucking him again. I fully believe she was going to hide it, never tell me, and not end the relationship. I said, I bet you didn't even book the time off. She said she did. I don't care either anymore. Better now than with a mortgage and kids. Correct. It sucks this happened to this guy, but he had to learn. But you guys, by listening to stories like this, can learn. You can learn not to be like a guy like that if, God forbid, it happens and you're betrayed. You end it and move on. And this goes for my 4%ers out there, my female people. Your boyfriend does this crap to you, you get rid of him too. So guys, we can learn from this. And thank God in the end, he got rid of her. Now, hopefully, when she reaches out and she's going to reach out, he doesn't fall for it. All right, guys, that's it for today. Be sure to comment down below. Let me know what you think about this. Be sure to like the video, share with your friends, and subscribe. And I'll catch you next time.